Hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Icon Recaps, where icons listen to icons.
Period.
Today, we are breaking down the first, I guess we can call it eviction, of Big Brother Canada Season 8. I'm here with the one, the only, the legendary icon, Mark. Hi, how are you?
Hi.
Doing good?
I'm doing okay.
How are you feeling about this episode? Because I, unfortunately, was spoiled going into it, so I knew what was going to happen. But were you like completely shook?
Um, I did not see the spoilers because I was like trying to have a BB Can episode without spoilers. Haven't had that since like BB Can 2. But judging by Arissa's sternness at the beginning of the episode, I was like, somebody's quitting or someone's getting expelled. And I was thinking Min Lee was gonna get expelled because there was a little bit of a,
Yeah,
it
you
looked like
text
they were
me,
leaving
Minley's
up
gonna
a
get
little bit.
expelled. And I'm like, girl. Okay, so I guess actually
I would start a petition if she did get expelled.
she might as well be expelled because it's not looking too good for her in this house dynamic. But we'll get into all of that. So first of all, we start off with kind of wrapping up from the competition. Minley is safe for the week. I feel like we won't be able to say that much longer. So while we can, we need to
Right.
endorse in it and live for it in the moment. But Minley is safe for the first week. So we have Chris, we have Suzanne, and we have Nico on the block. Now, this whole episode starts out with Suzanne talking to Minley, and she's really trying to pitch like girl energy, girl power, like we have a strong female here. And I was really thinking, Mark, I think this is going to be the season of the females. I have already felt that feeling earlier. I'm like, listen, we had to put up with season 7, which was definitely not that. And then she's talking about girl energy. And then, I mean, a little bit later, she's adding men into her line. So I guess that didn't last too long. But what were you
Yeah.
thinking about this whole, really just Suzanne's campaign in general? Because she ended up making like an alliance of 6. It was Brooke, Sheldon, herself, Kyle, Carol, and I'm missing somebody. I
Sheldon,
said Sheldon.
Brooke.
I said Brooke. I have it in my notes. This is why I should not skip ahead, but it. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
it's. I don't think this is gonna last, so it's really not that important. But it was a
Yeah.
bunch of random people.
I think Suzanne has shocked me. Um, I thought she was going to be maybe first boot because she was very over the top, and I didn't think that she would be able to contain herself, and she's chatting, she talks a lot. But from what it looked like, she's a very good social player, and she's been
Yeah.
getting along with almost everyone. So,
No, Suzanne was edited to us in a kind of like bubbly, loud, annoying kind
yeah,
of
like
pull.
a Sabrina type of edit.
Right. And she came in and served strategy mama. And she's also
Mm-hmm.
entertaining, so I love to see it.
She is.
But before we get into all that, we had this. I literally wrote on scene by scene, so I gotta mention the John Luke scene where he's like eating pizza and it's so crunchy, and he's like, I don't know, like,
They trying to shove him down our throats.
I'm
Like,
just
I'm
not here
sorry.
for John Luke.
Could we have an Angie segment instead?
Right.
Like,
So,
why I gotta be Dan? What's so entertaining about him eating pizza? Oh my God, you're so quirky. Like,
hmm
come on.
well, next we have Chris and Madeline, and it was interesting. It seemed like very flirtatious on both ends,
Yeah,
but for me, it almost seemed like Chris was doing it from a more strategic standpoint, and Madeline was
yeah,
just like biting into, or not biting, like buying into it 100%. Do you think that
yeah.
it was like genuine on Chris's side at all?
I think it was strategy.
And
There was zero chemistry
I,
there.
I think that like I don't want to say it's 100% strategy. He doesn't care about her at all. But do I think they're going to be a showmance? No, especially with production shoving Michael. Like we'll get into the
Yeah,
whole thing with them in the box. Like okay, production, we get it. You want them to be a showmance, but
right.
um, I I don't know, Chris. I actually started to kind of like him. Like no,
Oh,
okay, listen.
Ooh,
when
ooh, ooh, ooh.
there was like a scene where like they were in the bottom. It was like everyone. It was Min Lee, Suzanne, Nico, and himself, and they were all in the bottom. Like they're because they got voted in by Canada to basically be evicted. Oh shit! But he kind of just had this like energy about him, and it's like almost it kind of humbled him a little bit, and I started like really liking him in his confessionals and just looking at him differently. Mark, you're giving me dirty stink face. Tell me why I'm wrong.
Uh, they were giving him way too much screen time. I'm like, okay, we get. I don't know,
No, I like him, but I mean,
not a fan.
we'll move on.
I don't like the alpha males.
So now here's a showmance, or they kind of hinted at one with Minley and Jamar. It was
Mm,
so cute, in my opinion. They were like, hey, you're disgusting. You're disgusting. Like, you're like absolutely vile, disgusting. I hate you. No, I hate you. You nasty banana peel. I'm going to tell everyone in the house. Da, 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 da. Like, I don't know. It was so cute. And he's so funny. And
yeah,
this is. Hello?
you're cutting out. Sorry. Hello, hello, hello.
Can you hear me?
You're cutting out.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
We're good now, right?
Hello,
Hello? Mark.
hello,
Mark.
hello.
Mark. Can you,
Yeah,
okay, you here?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, what the heck? I don't know what happened.
Your voice is so low now. Hello.
Hello?
Okay.
Is it good?
Yeah,
Okay, sorry. I had some technical difficulties.
that was your Wi-Fi. That was not
Okay, yeah,
mine.
it definitely was because I heard it on my end. Like, my microphone made like a weird staticky sound, so that was whatever. But are you here from Minley and Jamar?
I am as a friendship, not a relationship though,
Oh, really?
because we already know they're gonna target them.
And oh,
They're gonna be targeted way before Michael and Madeline.
yeah, true. I agree. But actually, I kind of disagree. But we'll get into that. Maybe I definitely think Minley will. But um, Minley had this iconic moment where she was like, "I like to like do whatever with him. The guy's not bad looking, but mentally he's like 5 years old." I was
I
like
know.
Ice Queen. Like I'm loving Mindy every time she's on the freaking screen.
Min Lee's my favorite by a mile.
Yeah, so and then we go in and Nico says the game started poorly for him and like this was kind of like the start of the build up, I guess, for his
Yeah.
self eviction. He's like, the last 2 days has felt like 2 weeks and blah 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 and like da 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 da. Like I mean I don't really know how to take his self eviction because Big Brother 19, when it first happened, Megan self evicted. I guess I don't know. I'm okay. So I had talked to Megan after the game because she was a listener to the podcast over on Our Reality, and I talked with her, and she gave me like a different side, like talking to someone who was like personally like mentally affected by the game to a point where they had to self evict. Like it was very, I had a different look on it. So I don't want to like drag Nico for self evicting. I don't know. It just really depends on circumstances. And do I think that he could have pulled it out for like another day or two? Yes. But I don't know. What is your take on that?
Um, I think what Arissa said was very fair. Like, we don't know what's going on inside of his head. Again, they've been in the house for a whole week. We've been only given like an hour and a half in total of footage. and even less of footage actually inside the house. So we don't really know like the house dynamic. Was he really, really at the bottom? Did he have zero friends? Um, any of that stuff. Maybe they're covering up some sort of bullying or whatever the case is. So I can't really like
Mm-hmm.
make a stance on that or take a stance, sorry. So I'm just like he would have gone home anyways, so
Yeah,
I,
true.
I'm not
I'm not
really
gonna spend
hurt.
too much time really even like because like I said, like after having that conversation with Megan where she was like, listen, like I was in the Marines and when a man was yelling at me like that, it really struck PTSD and like I didn't think it would happen to me. No one ever goes in thinking that something like that's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
so I'm not going to like I hope Nico's fine. I hope he's better now. I know a lot of people on Twitter are like, how dare you take a spot of someone who would love to be here? And I understand that too. So I can kind of see both sides of the coin.
Yeah, but people also need to understand that he was also voted into the bottom four. That is really hard too.
Yeah, no, he probably felt like super alone, not only in the house, but like Canada
Yeah.
hates him, which I
If
mean,
I was voted bottom four, I would be so hurt. And we saw that with Brittany and Sarah in BB Camp 3 with that twist. Um,
when they
they had to
thought,
vote two people to be on slot, but it turned out to be Canada's favorites who were like they got a superpower. And they were very hurt by that. And the whole week they were crying and all that. So it does kind of hurt.
yeah, no, I completely agree. But I mean, to be honest, I really wouldn't care if Canada liked me or not. But I mean, I guess to each of their own. I would have definitely went Minley about it. Like, okay, I don't care. But so let's go to okay. Chris was meditating for the mental competition, and Nico walks in and like, my hands are wet. Like what? Okay. Anyways, moving on. Like I said, I went scene by scene, so like that the little stuff like that is in my notes as well. But then Nico goes, "You guys want a show? I'll give you a show." I don't know. He
I
was
was
like,
like,
I was like, girl. Anyways,
I was like,
yeah. Okay. So, now we get into this mental competition, and it's Angie hosting it. And it's a true or false.
period. She did a really good
No, she
job.
did do a good job. True or false based off of BB Canada action figures. And up first was the floater, and I really felt that this was John Luke, and like, ugh, I'm just not a fan of him. He kind of just annoys me when he's on my screen. But
Me too.
John Luke, he was the floater, and I really felt like Big Brother was dragging the floater type and they were like, we'll never have
Yeah.
any chance to win and we'll get dragged to the end and will not be respected at all, but we'll think they're playing a great game. And I really think that they're just like, please don't be floaters this season.
Yeah. I think they should have thrown Rianne in there.
Girl, you can't say she's floating. She got more DRs than Brooke. Brooke didn't get a DR.
Okay, but that doesn't equate
I mean,
to your floaterness.
I mean, okay, so moving on. The showmancers, which is what I was talking about earlier. It was Michael and Madeline. I can't remember how they say it, but oh my god, can they stop pushing this down our throat? Like, let it form naturally. My god,
Right.
like in the last episode, they were like the little sparkly eyes and like in their cast reveal, like they had not even seen each other yet, and they were already trying to paint
Mhm.
it, and so yeah, Bitter Juror, which was Vanessa. I felt she had like the blandest one of them all, but I do like Vanessa. But and then the comp beast Kyle, and I went into this liking Kyle, and he's on my team. Oh, by the way, you're down a member of your team.
Okay. Okay.
Okay,
We get
but so Kyle is on my team, and you can take him if you want him. Um, okay, let's just get into it because like we really don't care about the competition. So, um, before we jump into the whole Minley versus Kyle thing, I want to point out that Jamar is really good socially. And I kind of wrote him off as just going to be a goofy character that we're going to enjoy. But no, he was talking to Min Lee in episode 1, like kind of like talking to her really good. Then he went and to comfort Suzanne when she was crying after the competition. And then you saw him later hyping up Nico. And
Yeah.
then later on in the episode, you're like, I thought he was gonna want to keep Nico, but then you see I'm talking to Suzanne. You need 8 votes, girl. Like, watch out for the bros and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like, Jamar's really playing a good game, and I really think that they're gonna underestimate him in the house.
That's what I said. That's what I told you.
hmm
He's on my team.
Yeah, he is on your team, and I'm regretting writing him off because I really wrote him off in the interview because all he was doing was like getting his dick wet over Ica.
Yeah.
But
And also like um I think just by the way
mhm.
he talks like a Toronto man. People are gonna think he's stupid because his grammar's off, all of that. But he knows his stuff. He seems pretty strategically there. I see him doing well. I see him doing damage as long as he can kind of control his emotions and not lash out on people.
Yeah. I can see it too. Um, but moving on. Okay. Yeah, moving on. Okay, so then we have Hira talking about his culture, and they
I
gave
love
him a
that.
segment, and it was cute. I liked it. I mean, it wasn't like super game changing or nothing, but just like showing that, like even Suzanne said, like, I love Canada because it's so multicultural, and I really do think that that's something Canada specifically executes better when it comes to just casting in general. I mean, everyone has
Yeah.
talked about this in the past. Because the last time we've seen someone that you can even closely on the slightest form measure to Hira would be like a Kaser. And that hasn't been since season 6. And Kaser didn't even dress and wear, I don't know what to call it, but
Oh, he wore his
I forget what it's called. I don't
traditional
want to like say the wrong word.
outfit on his eviction.
Oh, he did?
Ovi did, yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, you're right. Okay, but
Mhm.
we've had still
21 US
right. It
seasons.
took 20 seasons. Okay. Anyways, um,
21.
so Canada's really like I really appreciate that he gets to like do his culture, but like I said, I'm scared that he's going to because even in his I noticed something that we really didn't talk about last episode is in his cast reveal for like the live show and on the premiere, he was like, I don't want to lie, I don't want to manipulate and backstab. And I think that
Baby, this ain't the game for you if you don't want to do that.
right. So that's what I'm scared about with him. But I'm at least gonna enjoy him as a character. So,
hmm
but moving on. So Suzanne really knows. Like, she gets into game mode really quickly, which also surprised me. She's like, "Listen, I need to stay. I'm talking to so many people and weighing my options and blah 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 blah." And then she makes this. Sorry. Okay. And then she makes this alliance, and here it is. It was Sheldon herself, Kyle, Vanessa, Brooke, and Suzanne. And, oh, sorry, Carol. Do we think
hmm
this is gonna last?
No.
I don't
Well,
either. Well,
I think they
I
could.
think some of them will be loyal. Like, I think Carol will be loyal. She ratted out Min Lee to Suzanne later in the episode. Um, Carol, we were rooting for you, but I think Sheldon really is just too smart to like put his 100% loyalty into an alliance like this day one or whenever this
Sheldon's
happened.
very quiet.
He is. He observes
He's very calculated, and I think that'll be an issue for him.
an issue. Usually that's a good
Because I
thing.
don't know, if I'm in that house and there's someone who's silent and observing everything, I'm like, that's weird. I don't trust that.
True.
Like, I would be threatened by that. I'd be like, you're too quiet. Like, that's how I felt about, a few people in other seasons too. I'm like, you're quiet, and
Yeah.
it's making me nervous.
All right. Well,
Because there's usually someone like that every single season who's just very quiet. Like Vanessa Russo was like that too, and I was like, I don't like she didn't talk in the conversations a lot. She kind of would just sit there, observe, and that's a sign of a smart person.
Mm-hmm. Well, we then have Min Lee. We're finally getting into it. What we've been
Queen.
waiting for. So Min Lee is talking and like asks, I guess like she's had problems sleeping. And she was like, listen, I need everyone when they walk into the room from now on, like, could you please like not wake anyone up and like just be very quiet?
And she wasn't that rude about it.
No, she wasn't. And but it was kind of like to be fair, not a lot to ask, but if you're
It was pretty forward.
pretty, yeah, pretty forward and um not like super reasonable considering there's like 15 people living in your house, you know. Like there's obviously going to be noise is like what I'm saying, and like Angie put it
She's
well, like
like,
I'm sorry, I can't promise that every time. I'm not going to even know that you're sleeping sometimes, and it's hard for me to go from 10 to 1.
yeah,
And
she was like, I want to be able to sleep and I don't want to hear people talking like this while I'm sleeping. Like I need some privacy.
and then Kyle, now here's where Kyle comes into the equation. Kyle's like, who do you think you are? Like, and I quote, you think the whole world revolves around you? And Minley's like, are you serious? Are you being serious right now? I like, I'm in disbelief.
Yeah, she's like, I am in disbelief that he was talking to me like that.
And I understand Kyle did come off aggressive at first, and
He's
definitely
like Jack from BB21.
Jack BB21, Mark says, I don't know if we're at that level yet,
Oh,
but
that was Jack level.
I mean, Jack was worse in my opinion. But
That was a mirror of Kemi and Jack. Like that was a mirror.
well, so we have then Jack. Oh my god, you made me call him Jack. We have Kyle. Kyle. Minley really seems like she wants to resolve this issue, and this is where I kind of was just laughing at first. I was like, "Oh my god, Kyle Minley going at it." But this is where I was like, Kyle, like you're being really rude and just unreasonable at this point when Minley wants to talk to him one on one to kind of resolve everything and make everything good, and he's so abrasive and so rude,
Right.
and he doesn't even want to hear her out. He was like, Minley was like, I can't believe you're talking to me like that. Like, I can't believe it. And he was like, well, don't believe it till the cows come home or something like that. He was just being so rude. And he was like, you are just so like, you don't know how people talk to you. And I'm like, are you looking in the mirror? Like, you're the one that's being rude.
All right.
So, I mean, that's pretty much where that ended. So I don't know if you want to comment any more on that because it was kind of a quick segment.
Minley Queen.
That's it. Minley Queen, period.
Like Queen.
Right. Moving on, we now have the evictors.
The Caucasian Alliance.
The Caucasians. So
Like, I just saw that and I was like, are you kidding me right now?
yes, I mean it happens.
Really?
There's some kind of form or type of alliance like this every freaking season.
We already know all four of them are going to make it to like final 8. Like, it's so annoying and they're all bland.
Okay, not all.
Ugh.
I like Rianne and Madeline and Michael.
They're pleasant, but they're bland.
Pleasant but bland. I can maybe understand that. But so
Like, it's just like, are you kidding
well,
me?
there's always like a pretty person alliance every season.
But it's just so frustrating. It's like, are you kidding
I mean,
me?
it's high school,
It's so annoying. It's like level 6 again.
not level 6. I
Ugh.
don't see. You're just like, I don't think it's level 6 yet. We got to give it some time, girl.
It's just like, I saw that in Alliance. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? You're
I'm
kidding
afraid
me.
not. But
Like, throw some diversity in there.
well,
Oh, and I wanted to throw something out there too about Madeline.
okay.
I think the producers made a mistake because on her DR it said that she was 30 years old, but I could have sworn on the website it says she's 24.
No, they had the website wrong.
See?
Isn't that crazy? She's
Did they
30.
change her age? I'm looking right now. Yeah, I could have sworn it said 24
Yeah, and I
before.
remember Drew saying it was 24. She's
Damn.
30. She doesn't look 30.
I was confused about that. I was like, isn't she 24?
Yeah, well, um, moving past this, like they just kind of like made up their little evictors and moved on. So like I'm sure we'll see more of that later on. Maybe I think that with this HOH spoiler that we'll get into, I think that maybe he will be invited into this alliance as well. But let's go to Min Lee where she's talking to Nico and she wants to play Big Brother. She doesn't want to do the easy vote. She wants to keep Nico because she thinks Sue, I guess they're calling her Sue now. Sue is a
Yeah.
bigger target than Nico. And I agree. However, Min Lee, you can't keep somebody who doesn't even want to stay. And that's, I think she overplayed a little bit, but I completely understand. Wait, what? You sent me an image.
Oh, sorry.
Oh,
Sorry.
it's like what? But you can't keep someone in the game that doesn't even want to stay. So this starts like a whole thing where Minlie then is like, you know what? I want Nico to stay. So she goes upstairs. She's talking, and I think Brooke, Sheldon, Carol are all in the room. And this is all a part of Suzanne's alliance that she made earlier. And she's like, listen, like, I don't really think she was campaigning as hard as they're making it out to seem. I really think that
She was just saying.
huh?
She was just saying.
Right. She was like, just like talking the options out. Maybe she was more abrasive in reality. I'm not really sure because we saw the edited version. But from what I saw, it was just like, hey, y'all should think about this. Like, let me know.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was like, we need to flip the vote now. Get all the numbers. Get everyone in the house right now. Like, it wasn't like that. But nonetheless, Carol specifically, as soon as Suzanne walked in, she was like, just so you know, Min Lee is over here campaigning against you hard. She's playing way too hard. She wants you out really bad. And Suzanne's like, no, I come from an Italian family. No, I'm about to, who the shit? She's a liar. She's a liar.
She pulled an Annalise.
She really did pull an Annalise in there.
She's like, I'm gonna go off.
She's like, I'm gonna go off. And she's like, I'm Italian. Like, you don't, like, I hate fake people. That's so fake. Oh my God. Like, girl, that's not fake. She's just playing Big Brother, but calm down. I really do think Min Lee's probably the realest bitch in the house. So,
She is.
definitely not fake. But, yeah, so that happened. And then we go, okay, this is where we get more of Nico. I feel like it was like a gradual build up to his ultimate self eviction because it was just him saying like it's a waste of time and I just don't know if it's like worth it anymore and blah 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 and he gets like emotional and like whatever. But he goes, I've been miserable for 4 days straight. No point in me being here. Rather not know what the vote is. This is a waste of my time. I am choosing to
Self-evict. Hello?
self-evict. Yeah.
Oh, the pause.
Yeah,
The pause.
the long ass pause. And then Miss Queen Erin Brock. No, I didn't know. Is this like the
Who? Oh, the producer.
Yes. Is this like Alison Gardner equivalent?
Yeah.
Okay, well, she comes running into the speaker and was like, hello, house guests, please come to the living room. And
Just being all dramatic as if people weren't gonna.
I know they were like, and I mean, I'm pretty sure he's been kind of vocal about it from what I've seen. He was talking to like Hira and them about it, and Hira was like, I mean, yeah, like getting evicted sucks, but just do it. So,
I would want to walk out those doors.
right.
Embrace, walk out, have everyone cheering at me. Like,
Yeah, and this is the quote that I wrote down. He goes, Nico has decided to self-evict. And everyone's like, what? Head turn. And Suzanne was probably like, yes, in her head.
I know she was for sure.
Imagine it
And
just,
then she's like, Suzanne, this means that you are safe for the week. And
and her face was all like dramatic
she was
and
like, oh, okay. But inside, she was probably freaking out.
yeah. What if it cut to her in the DR like, whoa, period?
They should have.
I know.
I already know next episode Suzanne's gonna get a DR. So Nico self-evicted, and honestly, like this couldn't have been better.
Then she's gonna be like, it's bittersweet. And it's gonna have
Yeah,
dramatic
she's gonna
music.
be yeah, for sure.
um, okay, but he goes, he'd already left the house and he will not be returning. We wanted Nico to know that we support him. Tomorrow's eviction vote is canceled, Suzanne, you are safe. And then Arissa points out, everyone be kind. And I'm gonna stand by Arissa. I really think that it's important to be
Yeah,
kind. There's no reason to attack Nico and his family and make him lose his job or whatever. Like, it's not
yeah,
that serious, y'all. So if you're thinking about leaving hate, just think that what if it was your father or your
yeah.
so anyways.
Like at the end of the day, we don't know what it's like to be in that house.
Correct.
And if you already know that, I already said this before, but if you already know that Canada isn't favoring you, plus you're like on the block, it's kind of disheartening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, try to put yourself in someone else's shoes.
Yeah, no, I agree. So that's that. And then we really go straight from there to the HOH. And I mean, I already knew who the HOH was going into this. Mark, you didn't, correct?
I did not know.
Yeah, so um Chris ends up winning. It's not even shown in the
I was like,
episode.
oh my
But
God, are you
listen,
kidding
Mark.
me?
I don't think this is going to be too bad. I don't know anything about targets yet. I I need to watch the live feeds. Live feeds actually came on right before we started going. Before we did this podcast. So I'm really like curious, and I want to like catch up on these live feeds. But
Yeah.
I wonder like has noms happened yet? Do you think?
No, no, no.
Or did this HOH
No,
competition happen
because they had
today?
the live show today, the
Oh
taping.
yeah. Also, Mark, your friend went to today's live show. Imagine.
Yeah, my friend was at the live show today. She actually invited me
Yeah.
last minute, but I was like, it's too far for me. Like,
Well,
it's an
you
hour and a
kind
half
of. I
away.
wouldn't. I don't think I would have want to go to this one because there wasn't even an eviction.
Yeah, you're right. You wouldn't be able to see him walk out and have like the interview, so you don't really get the full experience.
Right.
And the fun part is seeing it, like, how the whole production behind, hi, I cast my, like, I vote to evict.
Yeah.
So and so, like, I find that part really fun and interesting, and all the production behind it. There was no live element to it this episode.
Mm-hmm. Question: when you went to okay, so for those who don't know, he went to the Netta eviction, the double
Hmm.
eviction, probably the best. Wait, how long were y'all there?
Okay, I'd say we were there for 3 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
3 hours and, yeah, 3 hours.
And I'm sure it was like all entertaining. Did you get to watch everything unfold, or did they?
We did not. They had the cameras off during the time when Ika and Netta were like at each other's necks.
Oh,
The cameras were off. We didn't get to see it, so we were kind of confused. We were like, "Oh my God, what's happening?" They wouldn't show us the cameras.
why?
I don't know,
That's kind of the ghetto.
a little bit.
But um, what was like the interesting like production aspect of the voting is because I mean it has to be different from BBUS. Did Arista ever like mess up and have to restate?
No, but I think that since it's not live, they have the luxury of being able to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but fun fact, actually, when Ika had her iconic "I vote to evict Netta, get the F out of here,"
Yeah.
we couldn't hear her saying that
Wait, really?
because everyone was screaming, like we couldn't hear it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Wow. So are they not? Are the speakers not loud?
No, they're not loud.
What the hell?
Because then it would echo into Arissa's mic and then she'd hear it back.
Oh my god. So how did y'all know like when she evicted Netta to scream?
Because you could see her like reactions and stuff.
Oh.
Because she was like one of the last people to vote.
Yeah.
and it looked like Netta was going home. I think majority was no. I think she was the deciding, like the last vote for it to be a
Yeah,
majority.
yeah, yeah.
I think so. It looked like it was going in that path.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Wow, I never really even thought about because usually like in Big Brother when like people vote, like sometimes you hear like a or like a
yeah.
ooh.
No, you do hear that on BB Can as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, yeah. And so I was wondering, like, but if they can't hear it, how do they know, like, how to react? I guess it was like probably like maybe your eviction was just louder than others. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
nonetheless, we have Chris's HOH. Now let's jump into predictions. If you, without knowing anything, who do you think Chris is going to nominate?
I think maybe Minley.
I think that might be. Well, the thing is, maybe him and Minley. I think out of the, I don't know.
Maybe they have a bond for
Yeah,
being
for
in the
being on the
floor.
bottom, maybe that's a thing. And if he doesn't want to do the house's dirty work, I mean, he kind of voiced his opinion on the fact that he felt kind of outcasted a little bit.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I don't think it's going to be smart for him to take out Minley.
yeah. I don't think it would be smart. I think Minley could work with him.
Hmm. In fact, I'm
It's
going to go out
so
on a
hard.
limb and say he's going to put up Kyle
Oh,
and maybe Kyle and Minley together.
mm, I don't know. It's very hard to predict because we didn't get to see who he was close to except for Nico, and like he's gone.
Yeah, and Madeline a little bit. So
Yeah.
I think all her
So
friends are safe. The little evictors are going to be safe this week.
we call them the unseasoned
In fact,
ones.
I'm going to call that Chris gets invited into the Evictors Alliance.
Probably will be
Whatever.
annoying.
But in danger, I think Minley is in danger this week. I think, I don't know.
It's hard to predict. I don't. I like. I can't
Yeah, it's really going to
predict.
be hard to predict. It's just shot in the dark, to be honest.
Like for all we can know, the alliances could be disbanded.
True. Like, there could be no
So
loyalties right now. But
exactly.
I do think that, I don't know. I think Jamar is going to be. I really think he's gonna maybe be targeted early on just because he is so good and people catch on to that. But someone like
Yeah.
Jamar, I could see going really deep and possibly winning the game at this point. Like maybe he was just really praised with the edit, but I really was like enjoying watching him like maneuver and kind of just
Yeah.
go person to person and cover his bases and like tell one person one thing and then like contradict himself in another conversation, but they will never compare notes. So it's hard to, you know, track it down to him.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's all I got, Mark. Do you got anything else?
The HOH competition, Minley's Little Leap.
Queen, me jumping to conclusions.
It's iconic.
Oh, definitely it was. Um,
But that's all.
well,
Stan Minley.
yes, everyone stand in Lee. If you want to catch me over on Twitter, I'm at Daniel Icon Brown. Mark is at Snarky, SNARKEIGH. Go show us some love. And really quick, if you would like to help support the channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. It would mean the world. And oh my god, Mark, stop taking pictures of yourself. um, it would mean the world. And then oh my god, you're making my phone vibrate. And if you want to also support the channel, liking the video would help so much more than you think. So go ahead and do that. Leave us a comment. Do you like Chris's HOH? What do you think Chris is gonna do? Comment your not opinions, but comment your what's the word, predictions. And yes, I'm starting to stumble over words, so I'm gonna go now. Bye everyone.